Boy, am I gonna get some hate mail for this one. Hello everybody, your pal 6-Speed Dakota here, and you know, 7 years ago, right about almost exactly 7 years ago, when I started this channel, I never ever thought I'd ever have to make this video. Life has a funny way of stepping in the way sometimes though, right? So, this is it. Yeah. The big white Kia. This is the Dakota replacement. I know it's kind of hard to admit it, but I actually quite like it. I really do. It's a very nice looking vehicle. It's very nice to drive. It's comfortable. It rides really nice. It handles really nicely. Yeah. So I ended up selling the truck. So we bought this the beginning of April 2017. It's now August 2017. I think I sold the truck probably 2 weeks later. I think the day after Good Friday. So yeah, this is it. So before we get on to the reasons why and why to hate me, I'll just go on a little tour here. So it is a V6. It is all-wheel drive. Got alloy wheels. Doesn't look like it right now because it's a little dirty, but it's got that really nice metallic paint job. Yeah, I wanted the V6. It had the tow prep package. I wanted the V6 to have a little bit more power for towing, just because I heard reviews that the 4 was kind of gutless. Not quite sure where my key is. I think it's actually in the car. But it does have the smart key access system with the little engine stop-start button here. You know, accessory, key on, automatic headlights. I mean, power mirrors. It's got heated seats, even though they're cloth. It's got a wonderful Bluetooth stereo. I wish it went a little louder, but that's a minor nitpick. Yeah, you know, for what it is, and for auto-dimming mirror, like, that's something I didn't need but love. Also love the sunglasses storage. That's pretty neat too. It's taken a while for me to get used to the fuel door. Every time I put gas in the thing, I always forget that I need to pop the fuel door from inside. Yeah, it's got a 6-speed automatic with Tiptronic. I no longer own a stick shift. It is a little sad, and I do kind of miss it, but my daily commute and traffic, I don't miss it that much. So yeah, let's come around to the back seat here. It's reasonably comfortable. You could fit 5 full-size adults here. We have on a few different occasions. Center console in the center if you want to have any drinks and whatnot. That's the one thing I like about this thing. This thing's got cup holders galore. There's cup holders in the doors. There's cup holders in the console. There's cup holders in the front console. I had one cup holder in my truck because the stick shift took up the other one. Oh yeah, did I say 5 full-size adults? A friend gave me that, and I really, really love it. That's just fantastic. Did I say 5 full-size adults? I'm sorry. I meant 7. Oh yeah, 7 passenger seating. We weren't really in the market for 7 passenger. It's got its own little air conditioning here in the back, which is kind of nice. You have to have it turned on up front. Tons and tons of space. I usually leave the seats up actually, because anything that gets put here is not easily seen when the hatch is closed. So, but since I'm at my parents' house, which is also my shop, and I have to go back and take all my tools back, I need to have those folded flat, and I need to have that seat folded flat. So all these seats fold flat. They give you lots of room. I mean, I could fit just about anything in here. It's basically a pickup truck with a canopy on it. And you can haul 7 passengers. The only upgrade I've done to it so far is I've added this trailer hitch here. Shut the lift gate. Yeah, it's one of my minor annoyances I don't like is the little Kia plate thing that rattles like hell. Yeah, so we added the trailer hitch and the wiring connector. These are both Kurt Manufacturing. I bought it off eTrailer.com. Love it. Works beautifully. Tows the boat really nicely. The only thing I had to do is I had to modify my hitch bar so that it wouldn't rattle around in there because it transfers noise really well through the vehicle. And it sounded like the boat was going to come flying off the back. So a couple of bolts that bolt in behind and wedge the hitch in there. And now, totally silent. So that's pretty much it. I have the pre-install for the roof rack if I wanted to. Yeah, that's pretty much her. My wife and I really love it. It's super easy to park. It's got the backup park assist. It doesn't have backup camera. I could live without that. That's not a big deal. Future upgrades I want to do, I want to add HID headlights and fog lights. And then after the warranty is up, I want to add an aftermarket transmission cooler. The transmission cooler is upgraded with the tow prep package, and the wiring for the lights is already there. And the cooling system, the radiator is a lot more heavy duty for better cooling. So in my opinion, if you're buying one of these, even if you aren't towing, the tow prep package is a pretty worthwhile upgrade. Of course, you see I got my dash camera in there and stuff like that already. So yeah, I didn't love it at first sight when we looked at it, but I've definitely warmed up to it. I really do like having the extra practicality. So I guess you're probably wondering why we decided to buy the Kia. So I'm going to try and make this as short and as sweet as possible. So at the end of last year, my wife got laid off. And so, not needing to drive her car, I drove it. And I loved it. I loved having the automatic in traffic. I love that it costs 1/3 of what the truck costs to fill up. And it lasts twice as long. So, you do the math, it's roughly 6 times the gas mileage. I mean, you know, it was saving me huge money not having to drive that thing to work every day. So, at that point, I thought to myself, well, I'd really, you know, as much as I love driving a stick, I kind of would like to go with the automatic. You know, I had a clutch go out in the truck. Kind of had my fun with it. Was kind of done with it. You know, I'd driven stick shift for 10 years. Do I wish I could drive it a little bit more often? Absolutely. You know, sometimes they come to me, sometimes they don't. You know, again, I do still enjoy driving it, but being in stop and go traffic, the traffic is horrendous in the areas that we live here in the British Columbia Lower Mainland. You want to go anywhere, you're always stuck in traffic. So having the automatic is so much nicer. And the truck was so impractical, I could never take other people with me because nobody could fit in it. I mean, the back seat was tiny. And you know what? I never have to have anybody. Everyone asks you to move, help them move when you have a pickup truck. And believe me, ever since I bought this thing, nada, nothing. I hate moving people's stuff. I hate it. I don't care if they pay me or not. I hate lifting things. I hate driving around here, there, and everywhere with people's crap on the back of my truck. Don't have to do that anymore. It's done and over with, thank God. So, you know, I might buy a utility trailer or something like that to kind of get that practicality of the pickup truck back. But, again, that's kind of digressing. So cost was kind of one reason. When I looked on Craigslist, I was actually quite surprised at how much a 3rd generation Dodge Dakota was worth. I thought it was worth a lot less than that. And frankly, when I had looked at them a couple of years previous, they were at a much lower price point. So somehow they've come back up. Not sure why, not sure how, but I thought at that point, you know, it's probably a time to just let it go. So I was browsing for an off-brand vehicle at different dealerships. Maybe they're just trying to get it off the lot. And I looked at Richmond Kia, and they had a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which I did not want another Chrysler vehicle. Not with Fiat's hand in the game. Sorry, just wasn't going to happen. Not going to do that. So there it was. 7 passengers. It had 23,000 kilometers on it, and it was 4 years old. It was perfect. We went to take a look at it. We showed up. The only thing wrong with it was a piece of trim was popping off. Okay, you know, I told them, and they fixed it right away. I mean, like as soon as we came back to look at it another time, they had it fixed. So that was a very minor nitpick, and it was something that was just simple. But I mean, that thing was an absolute gem. It had never been totaled. It was barely driven. You know, 25,000 kilometers a year is average, and it had 23, and it was 4 years old. I mean, it was perfect. There was other ones there that were a little nicer, that were 5-passenger. They both had sunroofs. I can't do sunroof. The top of my head will get burnt, you know, because I'm losing my hair. Don't like sunroofs. They leak. They don't work properly, in my opinion. I don't like them. I never have, and I never will. So we got on this thing, we test drove it. It had heated seats. It had power, everything. The only thing it doesn't have that my truck did was heated mirrors. Frankly, I could do without that. I mean, it was just a convenience feature, but whatever. Bluetooth hands-free cell phone. I could play music via Bluetooth. I absolutely love it. It's perfect. I mean, I wish the stereo was louder. I mean, I wish I could turn it up a little higher, but whatever. Minor nitpick. So after I went there, kind of was on the fence about it. When I went to look at my truck, I was super excited. I really liked it in the pictures. You know, as soon as I saw it, I fell in love with it. But with this thing, it took a little bit more warming up for me. It wasn't love at first sight. You know, it's an SUV. It's not, the truck was more of a play toy for me. You know, I was 18 years old, right? But now, you know, so took it for a drive. I liked it. It was a nice car. I mean, it drove really nice. This thing's got tons of power. This thing could absolutely wax my truck in a straight line. Even though my truck had all these upgrades on it, I bet you it could still absolutely kick the crap out of it. Is it a rear-wheel drive stick shift V8? No. I miss it? Yeah. And I'm always going to miss it. I mean, that's just it. I mean, it was my baby. Of course I'm going to miss it. So digress. Back to the story. So, made them an offer. The guy kind of jerked us around a little bit, and I said, you know, unfortunately the salesman, who was a really nice guy, just didn't have it in him. Sorry, just didn't. He couldn't negotiate with the sales manager or the second in command, who I didn't particularly like either. So stuck my wife's papa on them, and he got us a screaming deal. That's what happens when you stick an ex-salesman on another salesman. So we ended up getting a really good deal for it. Drove it away, and honestly, I drove it to work the next day, and everybody was looking at it. I was so proud of it. At that point, I kind of fell in love with it, and the rest is history. It's a good-looking car. For an SUV, for something as practical as it is, I think it's really good looking. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I think it looks better than the Pilot. I think it looks better than the RAV4. I think it looks better than the CX-5. That's just my opinion. Those were my other vehicles I was looking at. I was looking at a Highlander. I just didn't have $40,000 to put towards a Toyota. Again, you know, Kia's got a good reliability rating in the last few years. I mean, they've done really, really well for themselves. And you know, I'm not going to get into brand loyalty and whatnot, but I just didn't feel like the Toyota was worth that amount of money. And for me and my wife, we just could not afford that. So, bought this, love it, and 2 weeks after I bought this, somebody came along and bought the truck. Took it for a drive. He had a smile on his face just like I did every time I drove it. I took it for one last drive the day before I sold it. I didn't want to be sad about it. I didn't want my last memory of driving my truck to be a sad one. I wanted it to be a happy one. And it was. I mean, I cherished that last drive in my truck because that was the last time I'd ever sat behind the wheel of it. Aside from just to pull it out from where it was sitting, that that doesn't particularly count. He liked it. He drove it away. He bought it and insured it and drove it away. So, and last time I checked, he really likes it. So, it's good for him. I'm happy to see that somebody really likes it. I thought, my truck, I thought it was always a good-looking vehicle too. I mean, every time I see the picture that my wife gave me of it, it really kind of hits home. That was my baby. I mean, that was our wedding getaway car. We took it on our first date. I mean, you know how many times we went to the drive-in with that thing and sat in the back of the thing with the doors open, the radio turned all the way up watching movies. I mean, it was so much fun. Yeah, interesting tidbit. You ever watch the show Riverdale on Netflix? It's actually the same Twilight drive-in that's on that show. That's the drive-in movie theater we always go to. So yeah, a little useless tidbit of information, but I thought it was kind of cool. So yeah, I got a ton of hate comments on my Facebook page for 6-Speed Dakota when I said that we bought the Kia as the Dodge replacement. As the Quincy Jones song says, everything must change, nothing can stay the same. It was a mechanical object. It was getting old, and it had a good life with me. And, I was ready to upgrade to something else, There's a bunch of reasons why I got rid of it. I mean, it's not just one single thing, It was running good when I got rid of it, and I hope that the person that owns it now is still enjoying it. Yeah. That's about all the rant I got for today. Will I change my channel name? No. Because Sob Kyle 04, who I've followed since he first started out on YouTube years and years ago, hasn't had Sob till more recently, ever since he sold his first one. So, the name sticks, the name's going to stay the same. But as for right now, this here is the new 6-Speed Dakota family hauler, and that's probably what it's going to be like for the next bunch of years. So, maybe when the little ones come along, we're already ready to go. I mean, yeah. That's enough of me rambling. My memory card's almost full. I'm 6-Speed Dakota. You can follow me Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for social media, and right here on YouTube. So please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Take her easy, everyone.
All right, well, it's me here now, about a year later, and I know I've been a little late on posting this video, and there's a couple reasons why. Now, when we had bought the vehicle, the Kia, we were told that it had a year's warranty left on it. And so, me being stupid, not thinking twice about it, and in reality, I really shouldn't have had to check that it had a year's warranty left on it. I should be able to trust what the salesman tells me. And I think there was a little bit of confusion here or there with what was going on, because he told me it was up of June of this year, so 2018. And I took it into a different dealership, and they told me it was up in a matter of weeks. Just a few weeks after I bought the vehicle, I had a couple minor problems with it. So I got in touch with the sales manager at Kia Richmond, and he said he'll straighten it out. So he called me a week later, said he's put the paperwork through for Kia Canada. I had another problem with it. The battery went dead, and so I brought it in. And they went to fix it, and they told me it was out of warranty. So I went straight to the sales manager and said, "Can you straighten this out for me?" He said, "Okay, sure." And so he said he doesn't know why Kia Canada doesn't have the necessary paperwork. He thought he straightened it out, but as far as I was concerned, that he would honor that warranty for me until June 30th. And so obviously the place I bought it at was a really crappy dealership. I've heard lots of horror stories after the fact. Of course, coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? So the problem is they've turned over pretty much all of their staff, sales manager, service manager, general manager, etc. Now nobody knows what's going on. So the last couple of times I've tried to take it in for something, it's basically just a grudge match between them because nobody knows what's going on. I tried calling Kia Canada. Kia Canada says, the warranty was up, April of 2017. And I said, no, that's BS. It says right on a piece of paper that the other dealership had given me that there was an extended warranty given, I'm guessing, to the previous owner, who must have bought it as a demo vehicle, because when the demo vehicle is purchased, the day the warranty starts is the day that vehicle became a demo vehicle, not the day that the owner purchased it. So a lot of the times they give extended warranty. A full 5 years is goodwill. So I've argued with Kia Canada over this. The problems I have with it are kind of minor. I got a broken panel clip on the door panel, the interior door panel, and on the exterior underneath on the whatever that's called, the rocker panel, and my heated mirror doesn't work. I know that there was an ICBC claim, an insurance claim on that side of the car, so there's a good chance that wouldn't be covered under warranty anyway. But the fact that the dealership is kind of running me around, I had a rust spot on it. And the service manager told me, yes, they would fix that. They would honor that as part of the warranty. I bring it in, and they said, no, they can't do anything about it. And they just dabbed a bunch of touch-up paint and gave it back to me, did absolutely nothing to it. And they said that they would fix it. So I'm through dealing with Kia Richmond, and I was frustrated with the thing. I was ready to just get rid of it. Flipped the executive decision coin a couple of times, and it came up, keep the car, several times. Like I said, the problems I've been having with it are quite minor. There's nothing major that's gone wrong with it, aside from the battery going dead because it probably sat dead on the lot for 5 months before we bought it, and they fixed that. So chances are I'm probably going to go to Consumer Matters over this, take this to the news, because, frankly, I'm mechanically inclined. I mean, you who are watching my channel see that I fix things all the time. So for me to fix it myself is not really a particularly big issue. But if I didn't have to pay for it because it was a manufacturing defect, that's what a warranty is meant to cover. I've told the dealership that I wouldn't have bought it if it didn't have the year's warranty on it. So that's the reason why I haven't posted it for about a year. But I've decided at this point that I'm probably going to keep it instead of getting rid of it, because I'd probably lose a bunch of money on it. So that's the explanation why. Anyway, I'm signing off. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. 6-Speed Dakota. Take it easy, everyone. Please don't hate me for selling my truck.